Now for our website project, I just wanted to add a little table of statistics to our homepage. I've got a text file right in the Chapter 6 Tables folder, so let's open that on up. And you can see I've got some basic statistics about the city of San Francisco. I'm just going to copy this text here, and let's go over to our website project, and we'll open up the index page. I'll open it up in my text application first, and what I'd like to do is go down to the bottom here, and we'll set up the table just inside the main section. So I'll go right after this image we have here for the Golden Gate Fog, and I'll paste my text right on in. Now, of course, we're going to format this as a table. So I'll start off with the table tags at the top. And of course, it's always a good idea to close those right away, so I'm going to close it down here at the bottom. We'll use city statistics as the caption, so I'll add a caption tag in front of that. And of course, we need to close that caption tag as well. And then what I'd like to do is take each one of these groups of data and make a row out of it. I'll do that by adding a TR tag at the beginning. And here I'll just copy that and paste it at the beginning of the other rows too. And of course, we're going to need a closed TR at the end of each one. So we'll copy that and paste it on in as well. Now, if we look at the table data that we're going to be setting up, the first one is actually going to be the header. So I'm going to set up a vertical column of headers by just making the first data piece of each row a TH tag. And of course, we'll close those off. And we'll make the second value just a normal TD tag. And close that off too. And all I need to do is finish that off by setting that up for the rest of my data elements in the row. We'll set up the headers first. And then we'll set up the normal table data. Make sure we've got closed tags at the end of everything. And that looks like we've got the basic tags done for our table. Let's save and try it out. I haven't opened this page in the browser yet, so I'll just double click it right down here from the folder. And we'll scroll down and see what our table looks like. Everything's all arranged nicely in the grid. You can see that we've got the bolding for the header tag normally, and also centering for the header tag as well. Of course, next what I'd like to do is set up a couple styles in our CSS. So let's go over and open up our style sheet. I'll just drag that over to my text application. And we can see the styles that we've already got set up so far. Now let me just move this over here and see if we can set this up so that we can see our table and our CSS file at the same time. The first thing I'd like to do is center the table. So I'm going to do that with a table selector tag. I'll put that right down here below the block quote, right before my class styles that we created before. And I'll just add a table selector. We'll add the braces. And we'll set up our rule. And of course, to center a table, we'll be using the margin property. And we'll set that to auto, which will automatically set all the margins and center the table up. Close that off with a semicolon. And the second thing I'd like to do is put a little style on the caption itself. So we can do that with a selector for the caption tag. Set up the braces. And the first thing I'd like to do is set the color. So we'll use the color attribute. And I had the colors set up in a comment up here at the top. I think I'd like to use the medium blue for this one. So I'm just going to copy that color out of the comment that we had here. We'll bring it right on down and paste it into our caption property. And next, let's set up the font size so it's just a little bit bigger than the rest of the text. I'll do that using the font size property. Of course, font dash size. And I'll set it to about 18 pixels. And finally, I'd like it bolded. And of course, that would be the font dash weight property. And we'll just set that to bold. Now, the last thing I'd like to do is I'd like our headers to line up vertically with the data next to it. So I'm going to set up a text alignment on the header cells, and then I'll add a little padding to both the header and the data cells so that it spreads it out a little bit and it's not quite so tight. We'll start off first by adding a table header selector. We'll set that up. And inside that one, I'm going to set up a rule for the text align property. And we'll set that to right align. Now I'd like to add padding to both TH and TD cells. I could do that in a number of different ways. It really doesn't matter. I could add the padding to the TH and then make another rule for the TD, or I can gang them up like this. I'll just make a TH, comma, TD selector, and we'll set the padding up here. If I just use the shorthand padding value instead of top, left, right, and bottom, I can set all four at once. And I'll just add about 4 pixels to that. Now we've made a lot of changes. Let's save our CSS document, and we'll go back over to the browser and refresh our page. And now we can see our table centered up. We can see the caption looking really nice here with the bolder and bigger text. And we can also see the alignment and padding that we've added down here at the bottom. Now, as you've seen, tables are a pretty good layout tool when we've got data. Historically, a lot of designers have actually used tables for layout. But in our next chapter, we're going to see how to do that using CSS instead of tables, and we'll have much more control over the look of our pages.